Now let's see the classification in the data analysis. Here, our example dataset is Titanic. Classification is a supervised learning. It is a data mining function that assigns items in a collection to target categories or classes. The goal of classification is to accurately predict the target class for each case in the data. For example, in this dataset, Titanic, a classification model could be used to identify whether the passengers on Titanic survived or not survived. So it is a three-step process. First, we select the analytic method and classification. And then we go to select model. In our platform, the classification contains various models, including logistical regression, decision tree classifier, random forest classifier, SVM classifier, and naive Bayes classifier. So we will select logistical regression to train the model. Now we can see there are some parameters we need to select the values. The first one is select extract model. This is for text data, so it's not for this case. We just leave it blank. So the most important parameters here are select variables columns and select target column. Select variable columns, those are independent columns that they will influence our target column, influence our result. So here I will choose 3 columns like sex, age, embarked. Those are 3 features as our variables. And then we will select the target column. Target column is dependent column. This is the column that contains the results we want to predict. Survived is our target column because we want to predict whether the passengers can survive or not. And then is to choose the test assignments. Usually, we will assign 70% as training dataset and 30% as testing dataset. So I will choose 30% as our testing size. There are other parameters like solver and C. Those are parameters based on scikit-learn. And another parameter is predicted versus observed. This is the results that we can show and display the testing result, the result of our testing data. These are plot types. We have 4 options here. Line is our default value. And then the matrix of model, this parameter is used to assess the model performance. The default value is classification report. We also can check compute metrics and ROC curve to check the performance of this model. So if we select confirm, we can see the screen is split into 2 parts, left and right. The left part has 3 parts: conditions, results, and plot. Conditions is display the values that we selected for the parameters, so they match each other. And then the results is showing the classification report for the logistic regression and some related plot. The right part is demo code for the logistic regression. Note that only 2 variables, x and y, they are changed automatically based on user's option. But other parameters, just example, like solver and C, the users can modify the parameters. And then we click run, we can get the result. So this is the demo code for users. You can practice your coding here. I also can change the x, like only 2 columns here, and then I run. So we can get a new result. So for the training model here, we can see here we have 3 buttons: clear models, update models, and add model. So add model will help us to store the parameters we just selected. So we add model, I can get model 1. And then I change the parameters for the first one, like sex and age as the variable columns. And then change the test size to 20. And I change the server parameter to the first one. And then I add the model. You can see we have model 2. And then we click model 1. You can see those are the previous values that I stored. And click model 2. This is the latest one I stored. So either this model can help us store those models we just selected, and then we use them to predict later. And here, clear models will clear all of them. Let's try and see. There's no models to choose. Now I actually keep adding this model. Okay, and then update model is used to override the model I just stored. And then right now I'm store the model 1. And then I go back to the predict part. The predict here, we can see there's a model. If we store it in the training model here, the predict will store, we will have the corresponding models here. So we choose model 1 to predict. So the users can input the variables, the self-defined variables, like, and can set sex like 0, age is like 80, and the target color is wrapped. Let's predict the result. Confirm. Right now we can get the conditions, sex is 0, age is 80, and the results, predicted result is 1.